Good afternoon. Aziz दोस्तों, Assalamualaikum. Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, good afternoon. With the program RF Ki Bhasha, I am here with you with our own Reni Lin. Namaste and welcome, Reni.
Oh, namaste. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an awesome experience to sit here and chat with you. Just incredible. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you are yourself an incredible person. And when I saw you last year on social media, and I was surprised to see your posts about Sanatan Dharam, as I belong to Muslim faith, but my parents were born in India, and I more and more I study this Sanatan Dharam, I get closeness, and I feel that it is mine, and I
Mm-hmm.
also belong to these people, this philosophy. So when I saw you, it was such a pleasant surprise, and I started following you, and you are doing a wonderful job. Now, coming to so many questions that I have and so many people have. My first question:
Mm-hmm.
When did you convert to Hinduism, and what was the main attraction in this Sanatan Dharam that brought you within this community?
Um, I became a Hindu and a vegetarian both back in 2006, and they kind of both happened at the same time. I was learning about Hinduism and Indian philosophy, and I was just struck in by the practicality and the logic behind it. So that's what started. I started this process of learning, and still today, I'm still a student. I'll always be a student, always learning, but it really drastically changed me. And I just knew that for me, that being a vegetarian also, which is synonymous with Hinduism, would be a correct choice and a healthier choice. And I not just did it from learning Indian philosophy, I did it for humanity also. As you know, I've always been a lover of animals and cows. And so that's what started my whole journey into Hinduism and being a vegetarian and all the Indian philosophies out there.
Well, tell me, if somebody wants to know what is Sanatan Dharam is. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
what is Sanatan Dharam? Explain me in a way that it attracted you and it will attract others.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that word's kind of universal. It kind of depends on the person itself. But the beauty behind it, which I took personally from my own experience, was it's the most ancient, oldest religion in the world. There's no founder, as per se, like Buddha or Jesus or Muhammad. It's its own entity. And it's not like where me growing up as a Christian, that if you don't accept Jesus as your personal savior, you're going to rot and burn in hell forever. It doesn't have that concept. It's our soul lives on forever, and we do our work, our dharma, and our karma, and it actually makes you a better person by doing the dharma and the karma. As where when I was growing up in Christianity, you always lived with, say, this anxiety that I have to be perfect and or I'm going to burn in hell. So Hinduism to me is liberation. It actually liberates you from religious prisons in your mind. So for me, that's true dharma. For me, that's true dharma. And it really does have such a profound effect on you. physically, emotionally, mentally. It's just logical in every sense that you can imagine. So for me, that's what Sanatan Dharma means for me.
Good. Uh, when you left your previous beliefs and the system that you were living in, and you came to this new life, what were the difficulties that you had to face from your family or from your friends and people back home and people who belong to the faith that you were born in?
Hmm. Well, so my friends, I have some friends of other. Most of my friends are Hindu, but I do have friends. I have Muslim friends. I have Christian friends, and they're really acceptant of it. They don't sit there and say, well, no, it's only Islam. You have to accept Muhammad. My Muslim friends aren't like that. Just like my Christian friends, they're not like, well, you have to accept Jesus or you're going to burn in hell. So lucky me, the friends that I'm incorporated with, they're very have a really good broad mindset of acceptance. And if I talk about Indian philosophies or yoga or Hinduism, and I'm all a big advocate of yoga and vegetarianism, they'll sit there and they'll listen to me. They're interested in this beautiful, which I call it really is more of a way of life also than per se some religious strict religious thing that you have to go by. Otherwise, you're going to be outcast by your community if you don't follow, say, the steps of Christianity or the steps of Islam. So I'm lucky like that. I mean, most of my friends are Hindu anyway, but the few I do that are Christian or Muslim, they're very nice and welcoming. So that's always nice. And the ones I did have one in the past that was very judgmental. So people like that, if you don't accept me and my beliefs and you're going to keep fighting all this negativity, then yes, I will cut them out of my life, because we should all, listen, we can all learn from somebody, some source of knowledge. So
Tell me, what were the difficulties from Hindu community when you joined them, or they were difficulties? Because when I yesterday posted that we are having a live session with Remy, I was overwhelmed with the response and the people, they love you very much. But of course, there are some exceptions and some people send negative comments also. So there is one Mr. Manu sent me that I ask you that there are some Hindus that doubt on you that you have purposely become a Hindu or for some and these things. So how do you counter this, and what were, if there were any difficulties from Hindu community or Sanatan Dharam?
okay, so yeah, we're breaking up. We're having a not so good of a connection. But I think I heard most of what you said. So of course, obviously, when you become a public figure, you're always going to have haters. I mean, Subramanian Swami have haters. You have haters. Tarak Fatah has haters. So we're all going to have haters. So there are a few people. I get a lot of attacks. Not a lot, but on my Facebook or my Twitter. People call me Sanji. They call me Bot. They call me Faringi Spy. They call me Mossad Spy. They call me paid BJP IT cell. They call me paid Modi government. I mean, I get all these names. So, and this is just another one of the names I can add. And see, I call these my badges of honor. Thank you, haters. These are badges of honors for me. I love them. I proudly wear them on my sleeve, and I will not stop what I'm doing. So you can keep attacking me. I won't stop my work. And my fans say, Renee, dogs bark and elephants walk. So that's what I do. I just walk away from the haters. If you don't like me, then, don't follow me, So for every hater, I have thousands that like me. But that's just the way it is when you're in the public eye. You're always going to get hate comments. You're always going to get people that doubt on you. So it just comes with the territory. But, I just do my work. I just do what I love. I just get the message out there. So I'm just me, and I consider all these attacks badges of honor. So
I can understand this because most of these things I have been also facing. But being a Pakistani, I face more from Pakistan and Pakistanis. But still, yeah, in India also, like for example, I put an ad in an Indian group at Facebook that I'm looking for a lawyer, but I want an Indian origin lawyer, not a Pakistan origin or Kashmir origin lawyer in London. And I received a warning from Facebook that this is goes against our community standards.
oh my God, shocking.
Yeah, this is your last warning, and you will be restricted next time. So who can mass report in an Indian group? Of course, there are some Indians then, because in that Indian group there are only Indian people. So yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you are facing, I can understand. My Guruji Tariq Bhai is also facing. Let me ask you one question. That we both are born in Abrahamic religions. I am born in Islam and Christianity, and these Abrahamic religions they are based on tabligh or preaching, and they preach extensively. Like churches, they have missions. Islam, Muslims, they have madrasas, and they send teams to convert people in their religion. But we don't see this practice in Hindu Dharam, that they don't send teams to convert non-Hindus to Hinduism. While this is a beautiful philosophy of life, it does not restrict you that if you don't believe in Islam or Christianity, you will be rotted in hell. And these kind of things we don't see in Hindu Dharam. So why this beautiful message Hindus are not spreading and making tablighi teams and preaching teams and sending teams to preach this beautiful Dharam?
Yeah, I know. So it just seems like it's never in Hinduism, to proselytize the way like Muslims do or Christians do. But really, we should, not in a sense like, oh, I'm going to get you to convert, not with force or anything like that, just to share the beautiful logic and the beautiful wisdom of this beautiful ancient religion way of life. Also, I like to call it too, because people can really benefit from Hinduism. They really can. And especially today, the world needs Hinduism in their life. They need Indian philosophy in their life. They need meditation. They need yoga. And they need to learn how to eat properly. Now, all of this is incorporated with Hinduism. So we should really get out there. Like if I'm on social media, on Facebook or Twitter, or even here, if I'm out with my friends, I always talk about, I became a vegetarian. It's one of the principles in Hinduism to try to be a vegetarian. I talk about meditation. I talk about yoga because it transformed me and helped me so much. It liberated me. And the world is so stressed today. They're filled with depression, anxiety, they're overweight. A lot of people are getting obesity, they're eating fast foods. This is all detriment to the body. So for me, Hinduism is a way of life because not only do we respect cows, nature, everything, it's about respecting ourselves because we are human. So the first thing you need to do is respect yourself, the divine inside of you, and make sure you're healthy. So this way you can do your Dharma and your karma because that's what we're here for. So this is like a really main principle of Hinduism. So I truly believe not for conversion reasons, just so people can learn the benefits of this beautiful way of life and how it can help the world by learning, just learning, giving them some facts or something like that. So,
Well, agreed. And when we see these kind of things, like yesterday, there was an incident in Bangalore. Now, the incident is really shocking because a Muslim man makes mockery of Hindu religion and made some alteration Photoshop photos with Modi ji and Devi and some Indian Bhagwans. In the reply section, a Hindu mocked with Prophet Muhammad then. Now, when Hindus are mocked, they accept it silently and they don't react. But Muslims' reaction was they went to that person's home, went to his home, they burnt police station, and the entire city was hostage. And then suddenly they make a human chain in front of a mandir that look, we are protecting mandir. Now,
mhm.
these things, so I agree what you explained that the Hindus should preach more. But here we find a difficulty, which I have noticed, that in Hindus, especially the non-resident Indians who live outside India, they are more apologetic. And when we see their reaction, they are not so close to their religion. They are Indian, they are patriot, they love their country, most of the Indian majority. But when it comes to religion, they become secular. And a special kind of secularism exists in India. So they show that we are very secular and it is not our issue and we should be tolerant and this and that. Why Hindus are always accommodating others in their own country, in their own religion, but they are not accepted by Abrahamic religion and others.
Mhm. Yeah, I know. You're breaking up a little, so I hope I grasped everything you were saying. There's a little bit of a bad connection. So, yeah, I noticed that in India, if something were to happen like this, what happened with the Muslims and the riots, a lot of times the Hindus go silent. They don't say nothing. But also on the other hand, like if a Hindu girl is raped or something happens to a Hindu priest, a sadhu, the media goes silent. Bollywood goes silent. A lot of people go silent. I mean, they're just like completely sleeping. So, and I also think and Hindus do get more, I want to say, vocal maybe on social media. So it's that aspect there that it just floors me how in India, like all these media chains and everybody just goes silent when a Hindu priest is killed. And if something happens over here, like the Hindus here, if something happens in India, they're very vocal outside of their country, protesting or whatever. Like for instance, like with the CAA, because I'm a part of a lot of organizations, so we would do a lot of protesting and all this other stuff. And maybe I don't know, maybe because it's outside of India. But also another thing, a lot of Hindus are kind of peaceful. They don't really, start riots or get violent or anything like that. It's just a part of Hinduism. So maybe when something happens, a lot of them do stay silent for that reason. But I think that for the most part, everything that's happened to Hinduism for centuries, all the Hindu genocides, all the attacks, I think Hindus need to be more vocal and they need to come out and start, defending themselves, in a sense. And so you can still do it in a nonviolent way. How, the Christians come out and say something, the Muslims come out and say something. Well, the Hindus should start coming out more and defending their faith, because we've had enough of Hindu genocides and attacks and just so much discrimination that's been going on, and it won't stop unless we all get out there and raise our voice and say something about these issues.
Uh, since last 6 years that we have a new government in India, because India was mostly ruled by one party, one family party, dynastic party that ruled India, and I think that the potential of India was not achieved because of policies of that one family party, like keeping India inside a Russian bloc during the Cold War. And it was the same period when China was GDP of China was less than India, and now it's so much more than India because India's potential was not attained. Now, I feel that since last 6 years, during the tenure of Prime Minister Modi, uh, awareness movement has come, and people are more and more getting attached to their dharma and their religion, and they are ready to protect their faith, which we never saw before. Do you also think that there is a change in the current generation of Hindus, and they are starting owning their gods and their religion, and they are protecting it? Do you see so also?
Yes, absolutely. And I think a lot of it has to do with Narendra Modi ji, because prior to that, and Nehru was the worst prime minister that India has ever had. He wanted to take away Hinduism. He wanted out the school syllabus. India's supposed to be a secular country. So why is this fool Nehru trying to get rid of Hinduism when it's majority Hindu nation? So Nehru started this path of this, I want to call it selective secularism, because he wanted to exclude Hinduism out of it. So finally, after all these decades of all this Hindu discrimination, Hindus aren't being protected against, and all this chaos, Narendra Modi comes walking in. He gets elected back in 2014, and this guy just knocks down walls that no other prime minister has ever done, because they were afraid and they were not standing up for the Hindus. So finally, for once, Narendra Modi came in, knocked down these walls, and started supporting Hinduism. I mean, he's done the CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act. That was great. NRC, the National Register Citizen. That was great. Triple Talaq. That was great. Ram Mandir. That was great. I mean, he has really defended and stood up for what was right for the people. And all these media houses and Bollywood and liberals are so mad because finally somebody is standing up and defending the Hindus. So it's great. And I think because of his leadership and doing all this legislation, what he's been doing finally after decades, it's given the Hindus power and courage to stand up for themselves, to finally appreciate their Hindu heritage, to finally appreciate and being proud to being an Indian, being proud to being a Hindu. So this guy has really done remarkable things for Indians and the Hindus. I just love him. He's just phenomenal.
Well, my feelings are also similar for Shri Narendra Modi ji, and that's why you and me are called Bhakt. So let it be. I'm proud to be Bhakt.
And Sanji, don't forget Sanji.
Yeah. Now, when you explained all these things that Prime Minister Modi has done during this short period of time in 6 years, like Triple Talaq and Ram Mandir and all this, when we come to India, we can see that there were thousands of mandirs in India which were converted into mosques during Islamic period, and then even in British period they were preserved as the Islamic mosques. But now the Hindu community have proofs that there are many mosques which are built on their sacred mandir. Like Ram Mandir is a birthplace of Bhagwan Ram. So it was so important a place for Hindu community. Now, one mandir got to its originality, and so much people are screaming around the world and in India. And most difficult aspect that some Hindus are also saying that it is wrong and it is criminal. My question is that how thousands of mandirs will be restored? Do you see it becoming a possibility that all the mandirs are restored, especially the Kedarnath mandir and the Kashi, all these mandirs which are of historic importance will be restored?
Oh, I think I would like to, because they had proof that yes, it the mosque really was original a Hindu temple. They devoured it. So yes, if they can find the proof, yes, then absolutely it should be knocked down like what they did and rebuild the Ram Mandir. So I know, and I've read that maybe even the Taj Mahal might be one, and the Red Fort, like all these things when the Mughals came in and they totally ripped apart all the Hindu temples. And even if it is hundreds or thousands, I mean, what is rightly due to the Hindus should be rightly due to them, because the invaders had no right coming in and devouring that property. I mean, this is horrible. Even when I went to Lord Krishna's birthplace, Mathura, and a friend of mine said that there's a mosque up top Krishna's birthplace. And I was shocked. I said, serious? He's like, yeah. I said, oh my God. I said, it seems so weird and that's allowed. And he's like, it happened, no one said anything. So to me, it was just shocking because we're talking about Lord Krishna, and they just come in and built a mosque over top of it and nobody says anything. So I don't know, maybe past prime ministers, I really don't know the intricate laws in India and the government, maybe because, fools like Nehru allowed such things to happen, but it won't happen under Narendra Modi ji. He will not let that happen. I find it hard to believe. But yeah, that is rightly theirs. The Hindus should have it because the Hindus have been going through enough prejudice, discrimination, atrocities, genocides. So yeah, and it's got to stop. It has got to stop.
How do you see near future of India? Because Indian government is meant to change certain things, and these are difficult things because there are 200 million Muslims in India, and they are a superiority complex, and they believe they love India, but they love Muslim India, and they want a Muslim India for themselves. They already divided India. Now, what message do you want to give to these Indian Muslims who are Indians, and how to persuade them that India should be the priority and religion should be the second priority? That's what happens in West also, that the country is given priority and then comes the religion, because country is one, but religions are many in a country. So, what message would you like to give to Muslims of India?
Yeah, because you know what? There's no Hinduism originated in India. It should be classified as a Hindu country. Islam already has several that's declared Islamic country. Christianity already has several of them that's declared Christian countries. So why can't India have one of their own? It's only fair, being that Hinduism originated from India. 80% of the people living in India are Hindus. I mean, so to say that, we want to take over India and declare it, another Islamic country, they want to, through the years turn it into an Islamic country. So I want to see India a Hindu Rashtra. It should definitely be like that, because all these other religions, Christian, Islam, they have enough. The Hindus deserve one.
Yesterday, somebody asked me a question. That if I am given a choice, you are living in India, me, what part of India I would prefer to live in?
Mhm.
And I started thinking, and then I said that for me, entire India is same because I've never lived in India. For me, India is my social media Indian family.
Mhm.
So for me, entire India is same, and I've got love from every part of India. So I would be ready to live anywhere in India. It will be same for me. What I think that you have lived in India and you have extensively studied things there. So if you are given a chance, which part of India you will prefer to live?
Oh, that's easy. Delhi.
Delhi.
I love Delhi. It's considered my home. I consider myself a Delhi-lite. I love how you have everything there. I love Connaught Place. I love South Delhi, and I love how you have all the great monuments nearby. So it just feels like home to me. And it's so easy if I'm going to Varanasi or Mumbai. Just go right to the Delhi airport and can fly in and out anywhere. So I don't know. I love Delhi. It's a city. It's not like Varanasi, which is great. All these wonderful places in India, but that's just my likings. I just love Delhi. It's convenient too, because I am an American. I'm living in Jersey, highly populated, between New York and Philly. We have all the luxuries of different ethnic foods and things like that. So I have to have that lifestyle also.
Uh, Coming to USA now, uh, we have seen that India and America are enjoying very healthy relationships right from Clinton and Bush periods, and then Obama also. But this period of President Trump and Prime Minister Modi, we have seen a new relationship between America and India, and we see the closeness, the love, the attachment to each other, the countries. Do you think that it's a new world alliance that is coming up, and can it overtake Chinese invasion, economic invasion in international markets?
Hmm. Yeah, I noticed since Trump has been our president. I mean, him and Modi were always, have a good connection, but just recently, you can see the strong bond between Modi and Trump and India and USA. They're so good for each other. And they both have the same ideology. They're both nationalists. They're both doing good for their country. And the media and the liberals, Hollywood, they hate Trump. Bollywood, liberals, media hate Modi because they're both great leaders. They're both doing what's right for the country. But yet, all the liberals, Hollywood, Bollywoods, they all hate them. And I love how Modi did Made in India and Trump did Made in America. And they're right. We should keep it in our country because China is trying to take over the world. And when Trump first got elected, Obama and all them, they took manufacturing out of America. It's all in China now. So when Trump got elected, he said, we're going to have Made in America. We're going to bring manufacturing back. And everybody was laughing at him. Oh, you're a fool, and it never happened. So he was doing it, and he's slowly doing it. Now look what happened with the China virus. Now a lot of Americans they have to leave. They're manufacturing, and they're pulling it in India. They're going. So now people laugh at Trump now. Now they don't want to do business with China. They see how corrupt they are. I mean, look what they did to the world. They knew about the coronavirus and they locked down their country, but they left the flights open for their people to leave with their disease and bring it. So this is how they are. They can't be trusted. The Chinese Communist Party are the most ruthless, evil people in the world. We all need to get away from China. Pull the manufacturing out of there. Trump was right. We need to just, stay away from China. So I love the alliance between India and America and Trump and Modi. And believe me, if Biden and the Democrats get in, that strong bond between India and America will be broken because they're more aligned with Pakistan and Islamic countries, but not with India. So I would hate to see that beautiful connection that Modi did with India. So it really would be destroyed if Biden wins.
President Trump is quite confident in his election campaign for November election. My question is that Joe Biden has selected Kamala Harris as his vice president. Uh, Left of India are very happy, and they are promoting her as half Indian or Indian origin, while she has many origins and she has many half. I read many tweets about Kamala Harris. How do you think Indians that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are good for India, America, and the world?
Okay, so yeah, I know a lot of Indians went crazy on Facebook and Twitter, and they were saying that, she never ever brought up her Indian roots, that her mother was from Chennai. Never. She always declared herself a Christian. She always declared herself a black woman. I'm a strong black woman. She never ever brought up that, she was raised by a Hindu, that she's Indian. She always wanted to keep it down. So now, when Biden selects her, now all of a sudden she's coming out talking about her Indian roots, because this is how decisive they are. They're trying to get the black votes and the Indian votes. But majority of the Indians, I notice, they know how she is, all her policies. She is not in alignment with India. She called Modi a fascist. She called Modi a racist. She's against CAA. And she was citing, she didn't even care about the Hindu Kashmiri. She's against Article 370. So she's in alignment with all the Democrats' policies, like pro-Pakistan. She doesn't even consider herself Indian. She can't even consider herself Hindu. She's just all trying to get the Indian vote. So I had told on my Twitter, look, I mean, most of the American Indians are voting for Trump and they're voting for Republicans, but there might be a few out there. I said, please don't be fooled by her. All of a sudden she's going to come out, I'm a proud Indian, I'm a proud Hindu. These are my roots. She's only going to do it for votes. Then if they win the election, guess what? She's going to forget all about the Hindus, because she didn't want to recognize her heritage to begin with. And she still only recognizes herself as being a black woman. So she has no regards for the Hindus. So please, any American Hindus here that can vote, please vote Trump and the Republicans. Otherwise, we are going to be doomed in America if Joe Biden wins. And then they're going to socialize us. They're going to totally destroy our country. They're going to defund the police. Murders and riots has ramped it in the last couple months because they want to defund the police. The murders skyrocket 200%, 300%. Babies are getting killed. This is all because of the Democrats.
I would like to inform you that there are thousands of people watching this and commenting. And of course, there are some haters, as you said. So, Bernal is in requirement, and Bernal is short in the market. They don't get Bernal. I will take one question from Prayajit Saurav Anand. He's asking that Rennie Lynn that how can Indian contribute to make Donald Trump emerge as victorious in the election contest Jai Shri Ram. He's asking that what Indians, especially American Indians, Indians who are living in India, they can contribute to make sure that President Trump wins election.
Oh, what can the overseas Indians do? Yeah, so get your voice out there. I'm working with a couple South Asian um, groups here. So basically, we're Hindus for Trump. They're all American Indians. It's Hindus for Trump. So what we're doing is we're getting our voice out there on social media, speeches, whatever we can do to tell the truth about how the Democratic Party, what they're aligned with, what they're planning to do, destroy our country. So even if you're in India, do videos, put them out there, do research so people know how Joe Biden is, so people know how the Democratic Party is. So we all get our voices out there, because a lot of people still are undecided if they're going to vote for Trump or they're going to vote for Biden. So if we keep, the Republicans, Trump supporters, keep getting their voices out there, even if you just want to influence only the American Indians, reach out to them, go on Twitter, on Facebook, and find out who are the ones that maybe are Biden supporters, Democrats. Share them your views, your opinions, because you really can change people's opinions. I mean, people are rapidly, right now in the last couple of months, people are rapidly changing from Democratic to Republican, and they're seeing it and they're radically changing. So you can do it. Everybody can do a part, if you truly believe Trump and the Republican Party is good, and you see the alliance between India and the similarities between Modi and Trump and India and USA in that relationship, then yeah, just get out there and tell these American Indians here that can vote why they should vote for Trump and the Republicans.
Question about Britain. I don't know if you follow our politics also. Labour did the same mistake before last elections, and they selected more Pakistan-based policies. That's why it backfired, and Indians who were historically Labour voters, but they boycotted Labour and they voted for Conservative, and Labour had historical defeat in elections in England. Now we are having a Brexit also. How do you see Britain? Because Britain, after all, ruled over India for more than 100 years. And Britain has a very big say in regional politics also. So, how do you see America, Britain, and India?
You're bringing up, how do I see America, Britain, and India, you mean?
Yeah, together. Do you see an alliance because America and India are getting closer? But do you see Britain also being part of this alliance? Because Britain is going out of European Union, and it will be after Brexit, after December, it will be out of European Union. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really study the Britain laws or follow, so much of their politics. But I do know from what I'm hearing that they really are pro Pakistan. They really are, and their views are different than, I guess, what you would call Republican here or Indians policy. So yeah, I really don't know too much about the politics over in Britain. I really don't follow it that often.
I'll come back now to Sanatan Dharam again from USA to India. Uh, People say that Sanatan Dharam is not Hinduism, and Hinduism is a way of preaching and different gods and this thing. While Sanatan Dharam does not ask you to worship or do anything, it is simply a philosophy of life. What difference you see, or you can tell me as a beginner, that what is difference between Hinduism and Sanatan Dharam?
Hmm. Well, for me personally, I think they're interchangeable because I really, for me, sometimes I'll say Hinduism, sometimes I'll say Sanatan Dharma, because they're me, they're the same, they're interchangeable. So it's just like another name like Hindu Dharma. So yeah, sometimes if I'm writing or I'm talking to people, sometimes I'll say Hinduism, sometimes I'll say Sanatan Dharma. And then if I'm on Facebook and I'll say Hinduism, and then some of my followers, people are like, no, don't say Hinduism, say Sanatan Dharma. So then if I say Sanatan Dharma, they're like, no, say Hinduism. Then some people's like, well, what's the difference? They're all the same. So, everybody has like their own, I guess, little, tidbits or whatever. But for me, I think they're the same. It's interchangeable, just different names.
Good. I have got my questions done, and mostly people are also satisfied. You are an inspiration to many people because you speak the truth, and I hope and wish that the mission that you have taken up is a humanitarian mission. And in India we have a very complex situation because there are so many different kind of people with different thinking and different beliefs. This government is doing a wonderful job to bring its authenticity up and origin up, and I hope that people will get united, and the small factions of people who are against this development and these things will get silent. Thank you very much, Reni, for being with us, and it was a pleasure to having you in this show.
Oh, and thank you so much for having me. And thank you, everybody that joined in. It was so great sharing my views. It was so awesome talking to you. You're doing great work too. God bless you. It's just awesome. Thank you so much. It was awesome chatting.
Thank you very much. So kind of you. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We had a wonderful show with Miss Rennie Lynn. We were enlightened by her views on Sanatan Dharam, and I hope that in future also we will have Rennie with us for different kind of questions. Thank you very much, Rennie. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.